The ELC AMX is the fastest light tank you can buy. This speedy French tank can cover an entire map in just minutes. Equipped only with a 90mm barrel, is this speedy light tank a tear in the field or an easy kill for the enemy team? Let's find out. What's up everyone, WizardKen here, and today we're going to be covering the ELC AMX. Now we're going to be talking about this tank and seeing whether it's going to be a tear in the field or just an easy prey for the enemy team. Now, to be honest with you, I have mixed feelings for this tank. I'm going to tell you that right now. There's some good benefits of this tank and some kind of crappy ones, but we're going to cover that right now. Now, looking at this tank, it's got only 400 hit points, which is one of the parts that I hate about this tank. It is a speedy little light tank. It doesn't weigh very much. It can get down the road. It's the fastest tank that you can buy. It can be scary, but the thing is, and it can be very hard to hit, especially from a long range. But the 400 hit points, pretty much most tanks can one-shot you. Even another ELC can shoot you twice and kill you if you're not careful. You know, getting tracked twice and you're pretty much dead. There's no reason to even have your crew, you know, fast repairing because you get killed pretty quickly on this thing. So this thing has 400 hit points on it. The speed limit is about 65 kilometers. Now the chassis rotation is about 38 degrees here and there. 360 meters in view range. Now that can change depending on, you know, if you have the binoculars and stuff like that. And we'll talk about that later on. Now, there is no turret on this per se. It is what I would like to say a stationary turret. If you guys don't know why I call it that, it's pretty much a turret that's able to move back and forth. But it's not allowed to rotate in a 360 degree angle. It's kind of like the Tortoise or the FV that I've originally played and stuff like that. It goes about 44 degrees left and right, which isn't terrible, but that is a drawback for this light tank. The reason why is because these little light tanks, unless you're shooting at something in front of you, or just to your left or just to your right, it's really, really terrible. In the sense of trying to, you know, run by Artie and shoot. You got to be pretty much dead on looking at them and then shoot. Now, the other bad thing about this, it does has a decent 90mm gun that does about 170 pen, which will increase if you use premium rounds, and does about 240 damage, which can be pretty nasty if you're not found or anything like that. If you sneak around and use your camo, which this thing has nasty camouflage on it. But the bad thing is the aiming time is 2.9 seconds. So pretty much 3 seconds to aiming on a target, which is killer. And then also the reload time is 12 seconds pretty much. I mean, you could decrease that, but it's, yeah, between, I think it's 12 seconds on there when I did the math. Now with the new update, you guys can actually see how long it takes to reload, but that is a long reload, especially for a light tank that needs to be able to shoot quickly and get in and out. Now the accuracy with this gun, or this barrel, is 0.37, which isn't terrible at all. So when I play this tank, I like to scout a little bit at first, and then I like to find spots where I can sit back, help spot, but also fire at people. Now, I only have the gun, the enhanced gun lane drive equipped for this tank at the moment, but I do want to get like the binoculars and the camouflage, so after I'm done scooting around and finding people, I could sit for a little bit and help spot and then shoot, because of the camouflage on this thing is really nice. And with the camo net, it can actually help out a lot more. So anyways, like I said, 400 hit points is really what gets me on this tank. Now, let's look at the armor real quick in the sense of how thick it is. Now, this thing, as you can tell, is pretty well shaped all the way up to its barrel. I mean, it's pretty well shaped. I mean, it could ricochet some things here and there, but I would say majority of the time you're not going to get a ricochet. It's very rare you're going to get one with this tank, especially if you're speeding around. You're not going to be able to angle yourself to a certain extent and stuff like that. Now in the front, we'll start with the chassis. In the front, it's 14 millimeters. On the side, it's 12 millimeters, and on the rear, 10 millimeters. Now on the turret, or the stationary turret, it's 14 in the front, 12 on the side, and 10 on the rear. It's all the same, pretty much all the way around. So not a lot of armor. So this is where I hate the hit points, because you only have 400 hit points on a very lightly armored tank. I mean, I know it's considered it's called a light tank, but you know, some of these other light tanks, you know, have 700, 900 hit points, and so on and so on. It really puts a dampening on this light tank. But that's where your speed comes in. That's where you fly down the road with this thing, and you cover as much as you can, and then you find those spots to shoot at. I mean, this tank is pretty good for going in somewhere, shooting up somebody, and then running away really quickly. Like I said, you still have to be like frontal with them, you know, face to face or whatever, side to face, whatever, but you can't turn your turret at all. So that's the only downfall. So without further ado, let's go and look at the weak points on this tank. Now, starting on the front of this tank, now this is just like I usually do with RDs or any other light tanks that I review. I don't stay on here too long to really show off like, oh, you know, this is the real bad spot on this tank, or this is, you know, where the gas tank is. I don't spend a lot of time on here explaining too much stuff and what to do, because this tank is so lightly armored and so lacking in hit points that anywhere you hit it, you could pretty much kill it in one hit. But there are some spots you might want to know if you want to ammo rack it and catch it on fire and stuff like that. So those might be some nice things for you guys to know. But anyways, of course, the bottom plate is a nasty spot, starting in this front area. Now you can ricochet with this upper plate, but it's not a guarantee. Also, the front of the turret is not bad to try to ricochet either, but there are, as you can see, some flat spots up there that the ricochet can smack into, or you could just shoot by itself. Seriously, do not depend on this angled armor to really help you survive at all. So going to the right side, of course, I mean, there is no real angling on this. There's no protection of your tracks. This is one of the main things you need to watch out for if you are going past somebody and you're giving them your side. If all possible, don't give them your side. This is this is the longest part of you. You're very short to the ground, so that helps. But the thing is, even though you're speeding along, this thing can be tracked very easily, and then it gets shot again and it's dead, or it gets killed in the first hit. So not much armor here. I would suggest if anybody shoots at this thing, don't shoot it in the turret, because it's so small and it's probably on the move when you're shooting at it. Just try for the main chassis. Don't try for trying to hit the turret or anything like that. Now, of course, the rear of it is going to be the smallest portion of this tank. As you can see, it's very small. It could fit into very small corridors. I've hidden in a lot of buildings with this tank, and it could be nasty when people are trying to find you and you're just like, ah, fuck you, you can't get me, I'm in a small spot. Yeah, hitting this thing in the rear is very hard. As you can see, there's a huge gap between the ground and the bottom part of this tank, and you can shoot underneath it. I've done it before. I really try aiming for the sides for this tank when I'm going against it. It's probably the best thing you can do. So, of course, shooting in the back, take out the engine. I've had my engine taken out pretty easily with this thing and caught on fire. And then, of course, the same thing on this side as the other side. Very easy to shoot up. This is the main target area if you're going against this tank. Like I said, he can't turn to the right or left very much. It's pretty much that much and that much that he could turn. That's it. Okay, so shooting this thing on the sides is probably the best way to take it out. This thing could be a very big nuisance because of the speed and the spotting range. Even though this thing can see up to tier 8, you know, if it's in a tier 5, 6, or 7 match, it could still spot pretty quickly. Now the view range is only 360, and that, you know, those tier 8s could see further than that. But the thing is this thing has its speed. Now they might be able to see you, but the thing is, it's not going to be long that you're going to be able to see them. You're going to be able to catch them very, very quickly off guard, and then keep going. This thing, the best abilities for this tank is to know your maps, know where you can go in and out very quickly and get out of situations. You don't want to go a road that you know you're going to be going up a hill after you spot the enemy team, because your speed's going to go down. You're going to be reduced in handling going up the hill. Know your maps. This is the main thing with light tanks in general. Know your maps, where you can go, where you can't go, and how to get out of those situations, because these tanks are very situational, and that you need to be able to move very quickly. You need to be able to get in and out of situations very quickly, and the best way to do that is know your routes. Now, looking at the packages on this thing, now I've been playing this for a while, so I do have this unlocked already. The very first thing that you start out with is a 75mm that does 13 rounds, or pretty much 14 rounds a minute, 74 penetration and 110 in damage. This thing was shitty to start with. I mean, yeah, you get to shoot very quickly, but as you can see, your speed's not there, and you don't have a lot of spotting range. So this one was kind of a bitch to get through without using free XP. So I did it for a little bit without free XP, and then I went and used free XP because that was just a bitch to get through. Once I got up to the next 75mm, it was a little bit better. Now, this thing is actually pretty nice. I mean, it only does 100 penetration. You do move up from a 70 to a 75mm, but the thing is you still are shooting 14 rounds a minute, which is nice. Now, the penetration is only 100 compared to the 90mm, which is 175. And then also the damage is a lot less, where you're doing 110 right here, where the other one is 240. But still, you're doing so much, you're shooting so quickly that you can make up for that time, where on the 90mm it takes you about 12 seconds to fucking reload. So, it kind of sucks. It really does. So this, to be honest with you, I've switched back and forth between these two just to see which one I would like better. I still go with the 90mm just because I don't get, you know, bounce off. You know, I missed the guy, I bounced off, blah blah blah. You know, the accuracy is even further off on this 75mm compared to the 90mm. So, anyways. Now, going to the last upgrade, this is where you're going to get your 90mm, but your aiming time's going to suck. This is where your accuracy is going to get a little bit better. Your penetration is going to get better, your damage, but I'm telling you, your aiming time is going to kill you, and your reload speed is going to kill you. I mean, 12 seconds to reload really can kill you. I mean, especially for... You know, we're used to T71 where you can run up to an arty and you just keep shooting them over and over again because you've got, you know, a massive amount of clips, you know, before you have to reload. You got, what is it, 5 or 6 rounds you can shoot before you have to reload in the T71, which is pretty fucking awesome. But in here in the with the ELC, you don't get that. You have to fucking wait for that 12 seconds. So that means, and you don't even have a rotating turret. So that means you have to shoot the arty, run around a little bit, come back, shoot him again, and hopefully kill him. So as you can see, there's some problems with this tank and the way it was designed and the way it was made. Alrighty guys, the crew on here is just a standard crew. My first crew pretty much, the French line. There's nothing special about them at the moment. Now, consumables, I do have all the, you know, small repair kit, small first aid, and manual fire extinguisher. I'm sticking with the standard armor piercing rounds. I'm not using the premium rounds, though my penetration would go up. I've been doing all right with this tank. I haven't needed to go to premium rounds at all. Now, on the equipment, now, like I said, I have the enhanced gunlaying drive, but I need to eventually buy the... I'm gonna get the binoculars because I do a lot more sitting than I do moving. Now, some of you guys do a lot more moving, where instead of like me, where I go and scout real quick and then I come back and do my, you know, basically my sniping and scouting, you know, being very cautious on what I do. Some of you guys like to run in there still and keep going. So the Kodak optics might be better for you. But I'm gonna do binoculars when I get a chance to, and then the camo net. That's just my particular thing. Now, some of you guys are like, well, why don't you get the medium caliber tank gun rammer? Yes, it could help, but to be honest with you, it's only 10% of the load time. So instead of 12, you're gonna have what, 11 or 10 seconds taken off, and then if you get your crew up, you could possibly get this thing down to what, 9 seconds, maybe 10 to 9 seconds. With you're still gonna have a long waiting time. So I'd rather just put everything on, you know, my scouting ability and stuff like that, and staying far back, than trying to reduce only maybe 2 seconds of a really long reload anyways. I mean, 10 seconds is still really long to reload. So anyways, I also didn't mean to do that. Of course, you gotta put your camouflage on there, guys. This does help out. And this is one of those tanks I'm gonna keep. Just like the T-71, I'm gonna keep that tank. I don't have it right now. I did have to sell it for some cash to get this thing, but I'm gonna buy it back. Don't worry. So I'm gonna buy it back with all of its fun stuff on it, because I love the T-71. It's a fun tank. The ELC AMX is a fun tank, and I plan on keeping it. So let's take this thing out and see how it does. Alrighty, guys, we're in Butthole line, or Siegfried line. We are the Encounter. So a little bit different than Assault and Standard Battle. Encounter sometimes can suck. Now, hopefully, because of this map and the way it's designed, I should be able to run up this way, spot some bastards, and then go and hide. Because there are hills that I can use to run around with. And that's what I'm planning on doing, is using the hills as my cover when I go to retreat. Like, I'm hoping the bounciness of me bouncing all around makes it harder for them to find me. I'm going to keep detecting these bastards as much as I can. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And this is what I mean by just running along and detecting what I can. Now, shit, still can be seen. Gotta get out of here a little bit. Alrighty, so we helped get rid of like majority of their fucking arties. Yeah, I knew that was gonna miss. I was just hoping for the best. I mean, look at this reload time, guys. Seriously, look at this freaking reload time. Terrible. Terrible. Alright, let's get out here and see if we can spot some more guys for them. We do. See if we can keep this up. Because I know this is helping our team out like crazy. I mean, I've already got 21 points for helping out. For me doing this. Shit, I gotta move a different way. That Churchill or Black Prince is gonna try to get me. It's gonna be nasty if he does. Since he has a pretty fast reload, I don't want to be there when he's firing at me. Really don't. Especially going up a hill. Yeah, not good. Not good for me to be doing. There's their little light tank. Yeah. Oh! That's a lucky bitch. Alrighty, guys. 38,000 in silver. 1,305 in research points. Now, let's see how we did. Huh. Not bad. 5th place. Now, like I said, I like to go and scout and then come back and start shooting. But the bad thing is where I went back to start shooting, I was still getting spotted. So I decided to go ahead and stay out there. Not bad. 2,750 in, assisting. We detected 8 people, so not bad at all. We still did our job. Hopefully next time we can do better. So let's see what we can do. Alrighty, guys, we're on Lakeville Encounter Battle. Another encounter battle. Let's see what we're going against. Pretty much the same guys. You know what? G Swiggle, if you kill me with the Hummel, I will make it my, goal to kill all the Hummels ever. Alrighty, let's see what we can do. Do they have... Yeah, they have an ELC AMX. Fucking hate that shit. Ugh. Now, this is a map I wouldn't mind having my binoculars on, and then... yeah. Now, you guys might be thinking, wow, you're fucking crazy for coming out here. Yes, I am. Because all I'm going to do is go spot, and then I'm going to run away. Just like that. And then keep running away. Oh, God. There's not much I could do in that situation. I mean, I could spot, and then that's about it. Yeah, not going to be able to do much more than that. Our team looks like they're going to fail because, woo, got some sliding right there. Hell yeah. Sliding around. My team is just, hopefully, I don't know. Yeah, here they come. Now they're starting to come into the city. Let's see if we just help spot a little bit right through here. Oh shit. Don't go off the pier. Yeah. That's right. You guys would laugh at me and make comments to me saying, he fell off the pier. I've done it before. It wasn't funny, guys. You guys are assholes laughing at me. Now, guys, remember, I'm not an expert with this tank. I've messed with it here and there, and that's about it. I'm still learning it just like you guys are. But from what other people have played with it, and I've talked to them, and I've read up on this thing, I mean, this could be a very nasty tank. But it does have its flaws, and the flaws are, kind of big. Getting tiered up with tier 8s with only 400 hit points, that shitty ass sucks. I mean, it really does. And to be honest with you, I think this tank should have had a rotating turret and not a stationary one. I mean, look at this. Whee! That's about it. That's all I can see. That's all I can do. So everybody to go fuck themselves. Woo! Look left and right. Oh shit. Get moving. God damn it. Fucking walls are fucking me over. Run! Run! God damn it, run! There you go. There you go. Stay off the walls. Stay off the fucking walls. The walls are slowing you down, Kenny. Oh, Jesus Christ. Alright. Alright, we helped out a little bit. Now let's flip around and do it again. Woo! This is another one of those ones I wish I had my binoculars, because I would not be doing this if I had my, if I had my binoculars, because, yeah. Did he kill that TD? No, he didn't. Hi! Bye! See if I can stay behind the house so he can't hit me. There we go. That's how we're going to do it. That's how we're going to do it. Stay behind the house. Head for the arty. Hello, Hummel. You're my bitch. And this is what I mean. Yep. Another long-ass reload. Yeah, fuck you. You couldn't get me. That's right. Whew. Alright, cut it in, cut it in, cut it in. He's aiming in on us. I know he is. Jump it! Jump it! Ah! He's coming after us. Run! Run! Oh shit! Eat shit! Eat shit! Fuck me! Fuck me! Maybe. No! God damn it! Alrighty guys, 23,000 in silver, 634 in experience points. Yeah, we didn't do too well, but hey, look! Once again, I come in 5th place. Not too bad. Shots fired 2, hit, you know, 2 people. This is not an amazing score. I mean, I did spot a lot of people. I detected 9. I mean, I did assisting and stuff like that, so not terrible, but not the greatest. So guys, what are my thoughts on the ELC AMX? Well, as you can see throughout this whole video, I had mixed reviews on it. Sometimes it felt like there was more negative than positive that I was giving on this. But to be honest with you, I think with more experience, more game time with this tank, more just trying different things with this tank, especially once I get my camo net and I get my binoculars and try, you know, that route. I think this could be a very, very nasty tank. I think the downside, like I said, the hit points are bad. You know, the armor is shit on it. I mean, it's nicely angled, and then the turret not being able to move. You know, stationary turret. Those are some severely bad things that are on this tank. I mean, we're not even talking about the reload, the 12-second reload, and then the fucking, you know, aiming time. There's about 6 different things that I can't stand about this tank. Other than that, if you don't mind that stuff, this is a fun tank to play with. As you saw, even with that, me not really shooting anybody, I had a lot of fun running around with it. I had a lot of fun moving because it is smaller to the ground than the T-71. This thing is like a fucking cockroach. That's what I call it, the cockroach. Because it's so small to the ground and it's so hard to hit sometimes. I mean, a lot of people get lucky when they hit me. Or I run into something like the T-25. I mean, the Hummel was a lucky shot on the first match, and then the T-25 just happened to be there, and there wasn't much I could do about it. So, but all in all, not a bad tank. I would just say, this is not one I will play like all the time. It's just one I'm going to keep because it is fun. It's very fun to play with. So, anyways, guys, all in all, I think this is a pretty good tank. With enough practice and enough experience with it, you guys could be badass with it. So, anyways, guys, I'm WizardKen. Until next time, see ya.